Hi guys, this is Romero. This is my first video in English language, and as I promised to one of my previous colleagues, I actually trying to do another video as long whenever I'm doing Russian video, I'm actually gonna do the English version as well, so that my English speaking audience can actually listen to my thoughts too. So here we go. One of the earliest memories that I have with my mom is when she was actually holding my hand and pulling me when we were going to kindergarten, and it was actually very easy for me to follow along and not to make any efforts, so that I was just cruising, and years later I was actually a teenager, and as a teenager my mom would give me money and I was just following her along and not doing a whole lot. And if you think that I was born like this motivational person and who's trying to accomplish everything by himself, you're actually wrong, because I actually went through all the stages of being lazy, not motivated, and then trying something and then failing and then going forward and stuff like that. So I completely understand you and I completely feel you. And 7 years ago, I actually tried to motivate two people to come to United States, to stay in here, how to find a job, how to get into programming, how to be successful and stuff like that. And one of these guys actually came to United States, and with his family, he actually established himself, went through these courses, got into top company, and he's actually lived happily after that. And the second person was actually, I spent tons of time with him sharing knowledge, wisdom, experience, motivation and stuff like that. And 7 years later, he still didn't even change his job, his car, his lifestyle. Everything is exactly the same. So you can probably think that, hey, on some people motivation works and some people it doesn't. But my actual thinking is some people are very comfortable of like being pulled. And recently he called me back and he said, hey, do you remember those really nice motivational videos that you actually have done? Why don't you do a couple more and motivate me a little bit more? And I'm kind of thinking, hey dude, it's not gonna help you, because if you don't pull yourself, if you're actually getting used to pulled, you're never gonna actually change anything in your life. And as time tells, 7 years later, he's actually in the same spot. And now fast forward here, this year I actually tried to motivate two people. I actually donated my own time, shared my experience, like game plan. I was actually syncing with both people abroad in Kyrgyzstan and one in here in the US, and I was like following up with everything, doing the game plan, trying to like tell them what to do and following up. And you know what, after a couple of weeks it became really harder and harder and harder, and actually both of them gave up. And actually what I want to say is these people actually went back to that comfort zone that they were in. It was super hard for them to get out. Everything just as if nothing happened, so imagine this, tons of resources, times of wisdom, actually everything is wasted, and it's actually wasted. And then a couple weeks ago, I was actually in a line for a food. I'm working in one of the top companies in Silicon Valley, and one of the guys actually turned around and I said, hey Romero, is it you? And I was like, what? Yes. And he's like, hey, I saw your video like a couple of years ago. You really nice motivational video and like talking about programming and what to do. Actually motivated me, inspired me, and I started doing the iOS. And now he's working in the top tier company in the Silicon Valley. And he said that it really changed my life. And I'm kind of thinking, if several motivational videos and a couple knowledge videos can actually inspire some people to completely change their life and completely like transform themselves, and for some people, like super personal touch, super personal, how do you say it, game plan and following up and everything, it doesn't change anything. I'm actually thinking it's not about the type of person who's can be motivated or not. It's about the people who can pull their own weight, or some people who are very comfortable being pulled, and so the theme of this thing is, don't be a person who is being pulled. be always the person who pulls himself, get inspiration from me, from other people, and just push yourself. Because if you gonna be waiting that somebody will pull you, you will never be out of that lifestyle, out of that thing that you're currently in. So that's for it for me. Thank you for watching me. I think my English was really bad. This is my first video, but hopefully over time it's gonna get better. Thank you for watching me. See you next time.